Hello, people of God. This is my Jacob's Way TV, and I am Dupi Dupi Singer. This is episode 39. Episode 39. Hmm. One morning, I was quite upset with my journey, and I dare say with God. I I thought I was put in a strait, and that I cannot but obey God, but I didn't like my life. I felt like I was dead. So I left the home a very unhappy person. When I got to Ikeja, midway or almost getting to my destination, I did not follow the traffic rule. It didn't look bad. It did not look bad. But then unfortunately for me, the traffic people were at the other end and they stopped me, picked me up, and in the Nigerian sense, a policeman was asked to enter my car and to take me to the station. I had, instead of waiting on the queue, I had tried to jump the queue. And the head of the team, the policemen team, that were the traffic people that day, had insisted that a junior police officer should drive my car to the police station. I was inside my car. I sat on the passenger seat in front, and the policeman drove. Don't forget that I was already unhappy, I was distraught, and so it was not difficult for me to become emotional. It was difficult for me to call on God now, having known that I was like in a rebellious mode before I left home. It was that rebellious mode that actually brought me into my refusal to stay in the queue that made me jump the queue. So I couldn't say to the Lord, help me. So I started to cry. I wept like a baby. So the man that was driving me to the station asked me, what is making you cry? I did not answer him because I felt he couldn't understand. Then he now asked me, what do you do, madam? Madam, what do you do? I managed to answer him that I was a minister of God. He said, oh, wow. He said, so why are you crying? I told him that I recognize the fact that I had let God down, that I didn't even have the local standee to go to him as at that time to ask for his help. And he looked at me and shook his head and said, you are very strange. And I asked him how strange. And he said to me, many ministers of God that disobey traffic laws that we pick up are usually belching fire and brimstone, almost like Elijah calling fire down. And they will be questioning them for the reason they have picked them up. Don't you know I'm a minister of God? If you don't allow me to go now, something bad will happen to you. And that they always laughed such ministers of God to scorn. So, but here are you are crying that is not happy with you. Why is God not happy with you? I said, why should I be a minister of God and be the one that should break the traffic law? Why should I even break any law? I should be one of the people telling other people not to do the same thing. And that the Lord knows I know the truth. And it's like a willful sin. I did something that was wrong. And I don't even have the mind to go to the Lord to say I was sorry. I wept like a baby. The man did not have a choice because he was working, acting under authority. He still had to drive me to the police station. He drove me into the station and parked me there, waiting for his commander, as it were. I was alone in the car, crying like a baby. He would come to check me once in a while. He still made me cry. It was a bitter cry, a cry of Lord, will you forgive me? I'm so sorry. It was a cry of penitence. And the man knew I was genuine. He knew I wasn't just acting up. He would greet me and go back. While he was back and I was quiet with the Lord asked me, why were you angry before you left the home? I said, because you asked me to stay in the bush. I'm tired of staying in the bush. So the Lord asked me, do you prefer now to stay in the police station? Of course, I said, no, 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 Lord. I'm sorry. He asked me, do you prefer that they lock you up? I said, no, 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 Lord. Then he asked me, who do you want to call to come and save you? And in truth, I couldn't find anybody to call. I could not find anybody to call because my journey has become so much unattractive to people that they thought I was either mentally disabled or I was just a miscreant of a sort. And nobody would want to take me seriously. The only person I thought I could call as at that time is this my friend, my brother's friend from the university, who had come to visit me, is a minister of God in the Anglican Church. Venerable Shiji came to see me, and I called him. See what my problem is. There was little he could do, but he encouraged me. He told me I shouldn't worry. So I waited there, and I waited quite a long time. I must have spent 3 or 4 hours before the commander came. But God was there with me because he saw that I was penitent. It was the man that drove me, the policeman that drove me into the police station, that quickly met his commander on the way and told the commander, I have never met this kind of person before. She says she's a minister of God and she's been chastising herself all this while for disobeying the law. And the commander, of course, said, what? Most of those ministers of God are always proud and cocky. He said, no, this one from the very beginning, I started to blame myself for disobeying God and not being a good example. So he said, please, sir, I want you to be lenient with her. If she has cried so much that there's no need for you to punish her again. So the commander came to me direct instead of going to his office. My eyes were red and popped out. And he said, Madam, I heard you've been crying since. Why are you crying? Tears rolling down my face. And I still said to him, how can I explain to God that I am his minister and I that am supposed to be telling others to obey the law of the land is the one disobeying the law? They watched me keenly and saw that I wasn't pretending. And the man said, let her go. Hmm. I looked at him and I didn't know what to do. I started crying again. He said, Madam, it's okay. It was actually a couple of policemen, Nigerian policemen, you won't believe it, that comforted me and told me to be more careful the next time. So I drove out of the police station. I made a vow to God that I will no more disobey the traffic laws of the land. And I said to the Lord, I prefer me being at the prayer altar than spending my time at the police station. I voluntarily told the Lord, put me there. I prefer to be there than to be anywhere else because I realized that it was actually a privilege to be in God's consciousness, to have God's attention, for God to be looking down at you, and for Him to have sent you on an errand. If it is not for the mercy of God, aren't we all going to be consumed? This is my Jacob's Way TV, and I'm Dupi Dupi Singer. I hope you have learned one thing or the other. Are you murmuring? Are you complaining? Are you thinking that it could have been better if the Lord had allowed you to live your life yourself? Are you wiser than the God that created the heavens and the earth? The thoughts that He has for you are the thoughts of good and not of evil. Dupi Dupi Singer by Jacob's Way TV. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, and keep watching. God bless you. I love you. Bye bye.